evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to I Saw You in That Thing I Saw You In, the podcast where we sit down with New England-based actors to discuss the craft of acting, projects they've done, things they've learned along the way, tales from the set, and tips on how to get your foot in the door. As always, our show is sponsored by the Parody News Network. Every week, PNN takes aim at a popular movie or TV show and parodies the shit out of it. If you're looking for humor and entertainment, not to mention a break from mainstream news programs, subscribe to the Parody News Network and enjoy watching the news again. Go to youtube.com/Parody News Network to like and comment your little heart out. PNN, your favorite movies and TV shows, satirized for your protection. And now, without further ado, please welcome the lovely and talented KJ Traynor.
So my first observation is that I interviewed you in this very room.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 8 years ago.
Was it 8? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost 8 years ago for Tell Me About Your Damn Book.
That's right.
We were like 3 feet away. There was a battle with a killer bee, I remember.
Yes.
Your sister Margaret was here.
And at one point you said, "Why am I not interviewing her?"
Did I?
Yes, you did. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, I'll keep the tradition alive. Why am I not interviewing her for
And
this?
she's home with the babies now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, times do change.
They do change.
Over 8 years. Yeah, the other thing that's funny is, to me, maybe no one else will find this funny, but as the great David Tennant taught us in Doctor Who, time is not linear. Mm-hmm. It's a big, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly mass. So to me, I thought the moment we met at Zorvino Vineyards, at the Authors Fair.
I thought we met at the brewery one.
No,
that's
see,
terrible brewery.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll get to that. I will
that
get
terrible,
to that.
wonderful one. Yeah,
I will get to that. But so we met at Zorvino Vineyards. That was January of 2018.
Okay.
See, to me, that seems forever ago. That seems even longer than that. But that was where we met. We were both doing that book fair.
Yeah.
And so I put a pin in that, and I was like, okay, January of 2018, that was when we met, because that was when I asked you to be on Tell Me About Your Damn Book, was at the book fair.
Right.
So in thinking about that, I was like, okay, well then the next time we saw each other was a year or two later at the Red Hook Brewery at the next book fair. But that was 2 months later.
Oh.
The Red Hook Brewery Fair was 2 months after Zorvino Vineyards. It was
wow.
like March, April of 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was active when I was a young kid.
Yeah, me too. Like just doing fair after fair after fair. But that seems inconceivable to me. You were sharing a table with Cara Camo at Red Hook. And I was like, that has to have been so far after Zorvino, but it wasn't. It was just a couple of months. And then that summer, we recorded Tell Me About Your Damn Book in 2018.
Wow.
2018.
Summer of 18.
Summer of 2018. So yeah, it's weird because... And all of that is weird because I feel like I've just known you forever. It doesn't seem like there is a starting point.
I feel that way with like you and Kara and Tree and like like we've just been buddies
forever. Just been part of each other's lives forever.
Yeah.
So that was all very amusing to me when I started putting together my research and started doing my prep, was to discover that those were those times that we met and that they weren't scattered all over and much earlier and all of that stuff. So, but it all starts in 2018 when I asked you to be on Tell Me About Your Damn Book, and then it just snowballs from there. But anyway, so we have a sort of that anniversary of the first time, and arguably that was my first podcast. I mean, you could sort of think of Tell Me About Your Damn Book
I would, yeah.
as sort of a prototype podcast before they were
I'm
a
always
thing.
confused about what the definition of a podcast is, because most of the time it's like they do video interviews now too, and I'm like, so what makes it a podcast?
Right, exactly.
Is it just the big mics? In that case, yes.
Yes, if that is the case, yes. And when I first started putting this together, I did the research and I found out that 85% of people listen to podcasts when they're running, when they're shopping, and when they're driving. So video is superfluous because they're because they're listening to it primarily.
That makes sense.
And then there's a rather large percentage of people who resent video because they have an image in their head of what you look like, and they don't want it spoiled by what you actually look like. Right. They don't want to look at you.
That's true, because when you listen to someone's voice, you have this image of what they look like.
Right.
And
exactly.
then sometimes it doesn't quite chime. I wonder what I look like in someone's head when they just hear my voice. I probably don't need to know.
I wonder that myself, actually, now that you bring it up.
Yeah.
We can
I'm a stunning blonde for anyone who hasn't seen me.
It's true. It's true. You can, if you want to look back on PNN, either the Charlie's Angels episode or the James Bond episode have you in all your blonde glory. So,
yes. Good times.
And I highly recommend looking at those because those are very entertaining ones. So a writer, an actress, a martial artist, a producer, director, singer, and stunt woman. Is that everything?
Yeah, I mean,
did I miss anything?
I like to bake too, but I don't like to rub that in.
And I have had some of your baked goods, and they are outstanding.
Thank you.
So just add that to the list of all the things that you do really well. If only one of those segments of your life could blow up, which one would you want?
You mean become like huge?
Yes.
Definitely a writer.
Really?
Yeah.
Like novel writing?
Like novel writing.
Really?
Yeah. It's
more
my
than
first
acting
love.
or anything?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would hate to not do that, but yeah, ever since I was little, like ever since I read Little House on the Prairie, I've wanted to be a novelist. So that would be the one that I still go back to all the time.
You're on the wrong podcast. This is about acting and producing and directing. My God.
I'm sorry. I love those too. And the interesting thing about, if you don't mind me going on a tangent for a second.
No, by all means.
The interesting thing was I got into acting later. I was writing long before I started acting. And one of the good things about that is, when you're acting, you have to get into the internal life of the character. You have to know like what was happening before the character walks into the room and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, you have to do that in a book too. Like when someone walks into the room, you usually have them running through a laundry list or something like that. So writing actually helped me, I think, become a better actress, because I kind of already had to know how to do backstories for characters and how to walk in their shoes in a way in order to be able to tell their stories. So they go together very well in my mind.
Huh.
So
you were born in Lawrence,
yes.
Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
and then you moved to New Hampshire.
Yes.
From there. How old were you?
2.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And how big was the clan then?
I was number 2.
Okay.
And there was I had 2 siblings when we moved to Derry.
Okay.
And then I want to say there was 4 of us kids when we moved to Chester, and now we're Legion.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Do you have an accurate number at this point?
I think I have 15 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
I have to check.
15 or 50?
15.
15. Okay.
15.
All right.
Yeah.
I seriously thought I heard 50, but I was not surprised by it.
So for those who don't know me, I have 10 siblings, so 50 is
sure
not
do.
out of the box.
Give it time.
Give it time. Yeah.
If someone's listening to this podcast 10 years down the road, it could be 50.
It could be 50 by that point.
Okay. All right. So, wow. That is impressive. That is an impressive number.
It can be a madhouse. We all get together.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, that was actually my next point. You come from a huge family, which is only getting bigger. I wrote that. Was that a factor in driving you toward the performing arts?
Yes. So we were homeschooled, as you probably have to do when you have that many kids.
I would think.
So for part of the curriculum and kind of as a family project, we would do plays together. And my mom would film them, and no one's ever going to see these plays.
Damn.
But we also we watched a lot of like John Wayne movies, and we watched a lot of Star Wars and all that fun stuff, and we always wanted to like recreate it. So we would write scripts and film them on our own, or we would just act them out in play forms. And that was kind of like the games that we would play would be things like that. So when I was 15, one of my brothers and I wrote a crossover, which was a Star Wars, Star Trek, and Time Tunnel crossover. And yes, it can be done because we did it.
Wow.
And
why am I just hearing about this now?
Yeah. And that was, we ended up, I did finish it. And it was, so I always tell everybody, fan fiction is a great way to start writing if you're looking to write, because the characters and the universes are already laid out for you, and it's fun playing with them and trying to mix things up. Mm-hmm. And you learn by, like, you try to break a rule and then you realize like why the rule was there to begin with. It teaches you a lot about world building, fan fiction writing. So, but yeah, so I would say that having a built-in cast and crew growing up is a great way to get into the arts.
Yeah, there's a tip for you, everybody.
Yeah.
Just have a huge family, I guess.
Yeah.
Did everybody get dragged in?
Yes, but not everybody liked it.
Where, if you had to pick a specific point of where your acting performing journey began, like properly, where would you say that was? I mean, I know you were doing things with your siblings, and you were filming them and then promising that no one would ever see them. But was there, as far as the journey that you're on now, is there a starting point for that?
Yeah. So one of my brothers had a company for a while. And I started working with him, and I talked my way into the lead role because his actor dropped out, and I was like, well, actually, I could do it. And so
another tip for you actors out there: talk your way into the lead role.
Talk your way into the lead role. And so what happened with that was I had a lot of fun. It was an action film. One of my other brothers was the other character in it, so it was a buddy cop thing. But in doing that, I realized, like there's something about acting that I'm not getting, because like I couldn't quite get into scenes that I wanted to get into. So one of the people, I think it was on that set, mentioned her acting coach, and I went to her acting coach, and then after that I just kept going to the classes because they were fun, but you could really get into acting, and you could really like just take a scene and just really dive deep into it and figure out like why it isn't working, how to fix it, and how to like use different tools to get yourself into the scene. So I would say that combination of things, doing that film, but also realizing how much I lacked as an actress, those were the two things that really got me into where I am now.
So you have a great love and, from my perspective, an encyclopedic knowledge of classic TV and film.
Oh, yeah.
Where did that come from?
Nick at Night.
Shout out to Nick at Night.
Shout out to Nick at Night. What was it, Turner Classic Movies or American Classic? There was another channel that just ran old movies, and I would just put it on and just watch, and I kind of fell in love with like watching Maureen O'Hara and Tyrone Power and Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn, he was like probably my first celebrity crush, and it was like I was 7 or 8. We watched Robin Hood, and I told my mom I'm going to marry him, and she was like, "Well, he's dead." So first celebrity crush, first celebrity crushed.
Damn.
I still have a crush on him, but but yeah, and then we started watching John Wayne, and then and I really, really love 1960s TV.
Yeah, you do.
Love 1960s TV. I actually found out that one of the streaming sites I have has Kolchak the Night Stalker, and I'm so happy about that.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
Was that not available anywhere else?
Not for a while. So that was I loved Darren McGavin. I will watch him in literally anything.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. That actually leads very nicely into my next question. Hollywood's golden age. Mm-hmm. Give me your Mount Rushmore of leading men.
Well, like, John Wayne is the man.
Okay. All right. So that's the first face on our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, first face.
Okay.
There's like a million of them, but like...
Would Errol Flynn go up there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. There's two faces.
Yeah. I love Errol Flynn. The sad part about Errol Flynn was like he's great when he was great when he was a young man. And then as he got older, he had this great look, but his movies declined in they weren't as good. And it's too bad because he was still good. And it was like he just played, like he was in The Sun Also Rises with Tyrone Power. And he played such a great older guy that had like this interesting backstory, and he was really playing it. It was like, dude, why didn't you just do more of these movies?
That probably wasn't his fault, though. I mean, he
kind of was.
What was it? Okay,
kind of was.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
I thought maybe he just picked bad projects, or he didn't get the offers.
He kind of lived a dissolute life.
Okay,
it was not Jimmy Stewart. Let's put it that way.
A lot of guys weren't.
A lot of guys were. I love Tyrone Power, and let's see who else is really good. I mean, there's just so many really, and Claude Rains. I love Claude Rains.
Can't go wrong with Claude Rains.
Yeah. I only really started appreciating him like in the past 10 years, and it was like, where have you been? Where have you been? And he's buried in New Hampshire, as it happens.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so you can visit him now.
I can visit
if you
him
want.
and apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't appreciate you.
Okay, so there's your leading man, Mount Rushmore. Leading ladies.
Marina Hara.
Okay.
Olivia de Havilland.
Okay. Boy, these come fast.
Oh yeah. Elizabeth Taylor.
Uh-huh.
She's one of the later ones where I was like, oh. And actually, Joan Crawford. Like, I just started watching her movies. Like, they're a little over the top, but she's
a little.
Yeah. Love it though. But like, she commits.
She does.
And it's like you buy it, even though the stories are completely ridiculous sometimes. You're like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm here for the ride.
Fair enough. And she had demons.
Yes. Yes.
But whether or not they affected her performances, who can say?
That's not for me to say.
Maybe they enhanced them. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who can say?
But for me, the top of that is definitely Marina Hara. I love watching her in pretty much anything.
So one of the bits that we always do on all of these podcasts is that I go to your IMDb page. Okay. And I go to your known fors.
Okay. What am I known for?
Still can't figure out any rhyme or reason for what the known fors are.
Okay.
Like, everybody has these weird random known fors, unless they're like super famous, and then the known fors are obvious. But these are just random dates and random projects and whatever. So I just take them and then we discuss them. Okay. But I don't explain why they are what they are.
Okay. I probably can't either.
All right. Fair enough. We actually discussed this. Karakamo recorded a few days ago, and we talked about the Sadie McAllister files, but let's hear from your perspective on that.
Oh, yeah. So that was a really fun thing. Again, there was a lot of period piece bits in that too, but we wanted to work on a film project together. And so we were just we were at this book event where, you know how it is, like, sometimes people don't come to book events.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard of this.
Shocking.
I sell out my books in 10 minutes and then I have to put the sign up saying, sorry, no books.
Sometimes I just bring one book in the hope that I can sell out.
And even then you take it home. Yes.
Well, if my mom doesn't come, yeah.
right, exactly, yes.
No.
Yes, let's just parenthetical here. Book fairs are tough, And it's
Yes.
and it's very tough to get people to come. It's very tough to make sales.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to spend hours talking with enormous twins, trying to convince them to buy something, and they won't.
That's an inside joke.
Yes. Maybe we'll tell that story a little later, but
Yes.
we have other things to get to. So,
But yeah.
my apologies. So
No.
you were talking about Sadie McAllister.
So I talked her into coming to this book fair because I didn't want to go alone. I was like, come with me, sit at my table. Maybe we'll sell a book. And I think that's how it happened. But anyway, so we wanted to work together on a film. So we did The Time Travelers. And then we wanted to do something a little bit longer. And I think the concept was my idea, but it might have been hers. But we came up with this idea about this girl that inherits a power where if she touches something that's old, she can kind of tap into the memories of the last person that owned it, or the person that had a strong emotional attachment to that item. Mm-hmm. And she uses that to kind of figure out what happened to her mother, who died under mysterious circumstances. It's kind of like a whole thing. So we did a short series based on that. Kara played the lead. She did a great job. We turned my parents' family room into an antique store.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
We actually created aisles.
Yes.
And we've got all this stuff. We put it on the shelves. We tagged it. It was intense.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we actually turned that room into we staged it so there was 3 different sections, and they were different time periods. So a girl during World War II finds out her fiance died. That was one section, and all this fun stuff. And it was my first time editing something on my own.
My condolences.
So much respect to film editors. So much respect.
So much respect.
And to colorists. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it was a big project. We got a lot of cool people to help us out with it, and it turned out honestly better than it deserved to be, considering how little I knew when I started and how much I knew after that.
Everything is a learning experience.
Yes, I think it's on the Book Sisters YouTube channel.
It is,
I
yes.
think. So, so definitely check it out if you get a chance.
Oh, I know this one.
Okay.
Michael Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun project. So, that came about because such a nerdy origin, but I watched this show called Inspector Morse as a teenager, and they came up with a sequel called Inspector Lewis. And I was a fan, so I wrote a fan fiction, I wrote my own script for it just to have fun. My brother found out, and he was like, can you change it and make it into a standalone? And so we did. We turned it into a standalone movie. And it's a murder mystery, kind of very British style murder mystery. And so I wrote that and directed it. And I was kind of the costume person for that. That movie taught me how to break down a script, how to create call sheets, how to keep track of costumes, because, within it, there's a body. So usually the locations used several times over the course of the film, but over several different days, meaning that you have to keep track of what tie the detective's wearing.
Right, sure.
And make sure that they're wearing the same tie on the same day, even if you're filming 3 different days at the same time.
Right.
So, so that, I think it came out really good. My brother edited that one, and there was original music made for it. It was, I think, some of our best work as a team. But I will say the legacy of that was it taught me how to basically prep for a shoot.
Once again, I Saw You in That Thing I Saw You In is sponsored by the Parody News Network. Every week, PNN takes aim at a popular movie or TV show and parodies the shit out of it. If you're looking for humor and entertainment, not to mention a break from mainstream news programs, subscribe to the Parody News Network and enjoy watching the news again. Go to youtube.com/Parody News Network to like and comment your little heart out. PNN, your favorite movies and TV shows, satirized for your protection.
To make sure that everyone's wearing the right tie and the right pair of shoes, and you still get it wrong every once in a while. But in theory, people will be wearing the right set of shoes for the right piece of the script. So, and we got to shoot all over Portsmouth. We got to work with the Portsmouth Police Department. And then the other thing we had to do was find a police station in a hospital. And one of my brother's friends up in Berlin, New Hampshire, knew someone with a building that was just standing there empty, and they let us use it. And so half the building had lights, the other half had working electric sockets, and it was completely empty. So we had to completely outfit it as an office, 2 offices, and a hospital. So I had to go onto Craigslist and find office equipment that was being given away for free, like desks and all this other stuff, and we had to haul it all the way up to Berlin. And yeah, it was a long shoot, but it was really fun. It was really, really fun.
Where did you do the courtroom scenes?
In a courtroom.
Really?
We knew a judge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and he got us in. And the funny thing was, someone on the cast turned to me and said, "Is this a joke?" And I was like, "What?" And he said, "I was in this courtroom." He was mad at me, and I said, "I was on trial." I'm like, "Okay." It was like for something minor, like parking tickets, but he was mad. I'm like, "No, it was not." But yeah.
How could you possibly know?
I mean, I didn't know.
How could anyone possibly know? And let's talk about. I have a hot update on this. Let's talk about Say Hello.
Yes, let's talk about Say Hello. So a friend of mine from Steve Blackwood's class, Kasia Skolasa, we were on a set for one of his films. She was acting in it, and I was unit production manager, which basically means I just boss people around, but I'm not actually a director. And we were talking, and she wanted to do a scene with me in class, but we couldn't find a scene that we wanted to do. So she had a dream about a cop that was trying to get someone to confess to something they didn't do. And she was like, and I said, "Well, great, let's write that out." So we wrote it out. We did it in class, and we liked it so much that we built a whole film around the scene. So
like you do.
As you do. And so it's literally Kasia's dream come true. I don't know if it came out the way she wanted to. No, she's really happy with it. So she plays a corrupt cop, and I play the person who's like caught in the crosshairs. And we filmed it in our town of Sherborne, and now we just happy to say we got into the Boston International Film Festival, so you can come and see it on April 10th.
Now, prepare yourself, get comfortable.
Okay. This is the deep dive, folks.
Yes. I had David Coffey on this show.
Oh, yeah.
He has been portraying Scrooge in A Christmas Carol at the North Shore Music Theater since the 90s. So, like, there are entire generations of people who have grown up, and he's been their only Scrooge. And I told him when he appeared that if I didn't talk about Scrooge, that I would have people outside the studio with pitchforks and torches,
right,
who would be dragging me out into the street.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Lenore.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be not only a sin and a shame to have you here and not talk about Lenore, but she is the elephant in this room that we simply cannot not
just standing in the corner
talk about.
disapproving.
Yes, she's giving us the stare.
Yes.
So let's talk about Lenore and tell me your earliest memories of. Well, first of all, let's okay. If you don't know who Lenore is, first of all, shame on you.
Seriously.
Second,
Hashtag more Lenore.
Hashtag more Lenore. I recommend you pause this podcast, go to YouTube, and watch a few PNN episodes where Lenore appears. There is actually an entire video that's just the best of Lenore. We'll wait here.
Yeah, because none of this will make sense if you don't
Exactly,
know.
right. If you don't know who we're talking about or what we're talking about, you're just wasting your time and ours.
Yes.
So, now tell me your earliest memories of Lenore.
We were doing a read through, and I think you just said in the script that she's a living dead girl. Mm-hmm. And so I just played it completely. I had so much fun playing just doing it, like just so bored with this whole thing. Like, and I think there was even a moment where it was just like, oh, that's interesting, but it wasn't even that interesting for Lenore. Right. And I just had a blast playing it. And I remember after the read through, because you hadn't really assigned the parts yet, I remember thinking, oh, I hope I get this one. I really hope I get this one. And you gave it to me. And yeah, so that's my earliest one, and my earliest memory of it. And I remember someone asked me, how could you get through that script? And I actually had to substitute what I was reading. I had to imagine I was actually saying something else, because I couldn't actually concentrate on what was happening in the report. Otherwise I'd get sick. So I was just pretending it was something. I can't even remember what it was.
Right.
But it was, yeah, oh my God, she's so much fun. She's so much fun.
Now, so I don't, so obviously I remember creating Lenore. Mm-hmm. And so when I wrote the script, I was like, and the idea in the episode is that none of the other correspondents can report on Human Centipede because it's so disgusting.
Yeah.
So there's this sort of depressed goth girl who I think we said was like a PNN intern at the time or something.
And she still is.
In many ways. In many ways she still is. But that she would be able to handle that because of her
right
alternate lifestyle, let's say. And so her full name is Lenore Pallas, and the first name came from the long lost love in the Edgar Allan Poe poem The Raven. And then her last name Pallas came because the raven sits upon a bust of Pallas in the poem. And so the funny thing with Lenore was that there was a woman that I knew who lived in Salem, and that's all you need to know everything about her. Like just the fact that she was in Salem, but she was very weird. She was I can say anything about her that I want because I don't remember her name, and and I doubt she would ever listen to this. But she was very weird, and I didn't really know her that well, but I was like, wow, like that she would make a great Lenore. And I actually offered it to her, but she had like a lot of things going on in her life, so she wasn't able to take it. So it remained vacant. But I don't remember. Did you when we did the read through? Did you like bring Lenore? Like, was Lenore fully formed, or did you?
No, I was just like this.
Did you just read it as yourself and then?
No, I read it dead. I read it like Lenore.
As Lenore.
I read it as Lenore.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she evolved, because I fell in love with Lenore. Like, I mean, she was such a great character, and I thought anytime I need somebody weird, or if something's playing against type. So if it's like a really upbeat, happy Disney movie, let's throw Lenore in and see what happens, which we did several times.
I think my favorite one was Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain.
I loved like the way it just beat her. Like, I think that's the only episode that beat Lenore.
Yes.
It was so relentlessly happy.
Right. And she couldn't stand any aspect of
Nope.
it. Like, she was listening to everything and she was trying to poke holes in it, but it's just so upbeat and happy. And it made her life miserable. So she walked off and gave piano back to me. My favorite will always be the Hellraiser episode.
Oh yeah.
Where Lenore becomes the bride of Pinhead by all sorts of weird machinations.
I mean, I would say against all odds, but
okay, yeah, that
it
too.
actually kind of makes sense.
In a way, it does. Yes.
But I don't know who's putting who in pain down there.
I think it's equal. I think it's shared.
Yeah.
But then for me, Lenore never really took off until Harley came along.
Yeah,
Like Lenore was great on her own, but she needed a foil.
Yes.
As far as I was concerned. So we brought in Sophia Cormier, who
awesome.
the poor thing was just a cosplayer, and she was at a con where we had a booth, and I said, come in and do this, this dad joke. So she did. And I was like, hey, would you like to be part of PNN? And she had no idea what I was talking about. She had never been on a set before. She had never seen a script before. She had no idea. And I'm like, come do this. And she's like, oh, okay. So she had, I can't remember if she had any episodes before. I think her first episode was Birds of Prey, and that's where she met Lenore.
Yes.
Or not met Lenore, but discovered Lenore. And then
she's been pursuing me
relentlessly. She's been pursuing Lenore ever since. And just that is my great joy has always been to write Lenore, but it amplified exponentially writing Lenore and Harley, because they just play off of each other so amazingly well.
Yeah.
And because Lenore doesn't say much, it gives the opportunity for Harley to give that exposition for Lenore to play against.
Yes.
And they're just so. And the other thing that I have to mention is, and this is just my observation, is that you use Lenore as sort of a release to be somebody completely not you.
Yeah. She is definitely not me.
She is definitely not you. And the reason I bring that up is because we were at the Northeast Comic-Con. We had a booth there, and it was either the Saturday or the Sunday. I think it was the Sunday, and a bunch of PNN people came to just lend support and hang out at the booth. And you showed up with your nephew, and everybody was chatting, and we got a photo together. And then you left, and everyone turned to me, and they were like, "That's Lenore? That's the woman that plays Lenore?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "She's so nice. How could that possibly be Lenore?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's acting." That's
no, that's a huge compliment.
I see you living vicariously through Lenore.
Yeah, I love Lenore. It's funny too, because you put on the costume, and all of a sudden you can just feel you put on the wig, and it's just oh yeah, now I'm here.
Yeah,
she's here.
Yeah, and for me, you arrive on set as you go, you get changed, you come back, and I'm dealing with a completely different person. You left, and now someone else walked in, and that is Lenore.
Yeah,
and then it's always, when I'm filming with you and Sophia, with Lenore and Harley, those are some of my favorite outtakes as well, because once someone starts corpsing, then we're lost.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get back on track, because you guys are cracking each other up. Yeah. Sophia's cracking herself up. You guys are both cracking me up. I'm like, we're never going to get through
it's the longest shoots.
They really are.
Considering how short the episodes are, they're the longest shoots, because we're just laughing most of the time. I will say, Sophia's just amazing. She just makes everything pop, and it's just so fun playing off of her.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And God love her. I give her such huge chunks of dialogue. The poor thing,
And then my line is usually hey.
Exactly, right. You're just sitting there staring angrily at the camera, and she's got to get through these giant chunks of dialogue. The non-actress has to do all of the acting. The poor thing, but she is so good, and it's just, Lenore has brought so much joy to my life. And
well, thank you for creating her. Thank you for letting me play her, because honestly, she's my favorite person to play. She's so much fun.
She really is. She really is.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody go and look at Lenore.
Yeah. And Harley. Sophia's Harley is awesome.
Yes. There's I forget which season it was. They tend to blend, but you guys hosted all
our love
4.
Story is just one for the ages.
It just goes on and on. But you guys hosted all 4 Halloween episodes that season.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That's a good one to check out.
Is that the season with Poltergeist? Because that was one of my favorites.
Yes, that was. Okay. You guys did An American Werewolf in London.
Oh yeah.
You did Poltergeist. You did Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Night of the Living Dead. Lenore, everybody. Hashtag more Lenore.
Yes, hashtag.
So in your resume, there's everything imaginable except stage.
I've only done one stage play.
Really?
Yes.
Which one was that?
I did the General Inspector.
Okay.
With the Milford Players back in 22, 23.
Oh, that recently?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
First stage play ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was actually a group that I'd met online during COVID.
Okay.
One of my friends was doing online plays with them.
Oh,
So
I remember that.
Yeah, so I did a bunch of plays with them, and then they were doing it live, and they said, hey, do you want to audition? And I'm like, yeah. And I got this great role. I just played... the funny thing was, I kind of knew the play from a Danny Kaye movie. That
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So the director had translated it from, I think, Russian, the original play.
Okay.
And they'd also made like a Danny Kaye version, which is a lot a lot sweeter. This play is a little bit more cynical. And I got to play one of the characters that when I was a kid, that character just slayed me. So I got to play that character, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Did it inspire you toward more stage work? Or
I would love to do more stage
Yeah?
work. Yeah, I just haven't had the opportunity to do it.
You also don't have a ton of time.
Yeah. But that's part of it. Because it's very intense. The rehearsals are a lot more intense, but post-production doesn't exist, which is really nice.
That's true. One and done.
One and done. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of time spent memorizing a lot of lines. But the magic of being on stage and just being like, okay, this is it. And then we had we had 2 doors that we used to go in and out on the stage, and one of them broke during, I think, the third act, the third time we did the playthrough. Yeah. And I'd forgotten, and I was supposed to go out so we were all rooting through the other door, except I forgot, and I ran into the door, full on ran into and I got such a huge laugh because I ran into the door, and then I immediately went let's use the other door, and that got a huge laugh too. So, so it was a lot of fun, trying to ad-lib and so I would definitely do more. So anyone's looking for a stage actress, I'm down to it. I'm okay with physical comedy.
Bear in mind, she is a very busy woman. So just factor that in.
Yeah.
Were you scared to go out in front of a live audience and do your thing?
Yeah, I was, but the lights were so in my face that I couldn't see the audience.
Gotcha.
So I was able to just basically ignore them. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. Yeah. And also the other thing I wasn't really good at, because I never had to do that, was casting your voice.
Oh, playing to the back row.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So doing the big gestures I was okay with, but the casting my voice was tough. So yeah, that's probably something I could work on.
Yeah, if you're going to do more stage work, you should probably work on that.
Play to the back, the cheap sheets,
The nosebleeds, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk about auditions. Mm-hmm. Do you still need to, or have you networked your way out of them? Or do you do what I do and write your own stuff so you don't need to?
So I do occasionally audition.
Okay. Not everyone does. Some people are just they get calls all the time. I just need you to be in this thing, and off you go.
Honestly, I think I've networked. That's mostly how I get my roles. Is somebody knows me and they're just like, hey, this would be good for you. Can you come up and do it? And so that's mostly what I do. The other thing I do is write my own stuff, so I can play exactly who I want.
It's really a glorious thing.
It really is.
To exploit that loophole to not have to audition. Just be like, I'm just going to write my own stuff.
Someone told me the other day, you can't possibly direct, produce, and write your own, role that you're going to play in. And I was feeling really bad about this. Something maybe that is kind of full of myself. And then I thought, wait a minute, I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be full of myself, but how else am I going to play a cowgirl? No one else is writing that role.
Yeah, exactly. And
and if anyone needs a cowgirl, I'm here for you.
Jenny Goodnight.
Again.
We're putting in way too many inside jokes. None of this is going to make any sense. But also, hello, Orson Welles
Yeah.
did it. Did
mean,
it all the time.
Yeah.
He wrote, directed, and starred. So, and technically so did Ed Wood, and that didn't work out so well. But
It doesn't work in all cases, but like Mel Gibson made it work for him a couple of times.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly. Yeah, it's doable.
So, yeah.
So whatever. I'm 99.9% sure I know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
I will ask it anyway. Do you plan to stay in the New England area, or are you thinking of seeking your fortune elsewhere?
Oh, I'm planning on staying here. I like it here,
Yeah.
even though it's been snowing. And I'm at that point of winter where I'm like, all right, can it be spring?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We've run out of places to put the snow.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Please have mercy on us. So the West Coast, New York City, they don't hold any allure.
Well, I mean, I've been to California. I really liked it. But my family's here. If Mel Gibson called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, I need you in LA," I'd be in LA like a shot. But can't imagine like moving there permanently. I would want to stay here.
Yeah,
I like it here. I like the people here.
You have deep roots.
Deep.
So do I. So, is there something you'd like to do in the future that you haven't done yet?
I mentioned this to you earlier. I would love to do a Bunker Hill short film.
Uh-huh.
I think I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
I just need money for the costumes.
We all need money.
And the muskets.
Sure.
But
the New England Patriots have muskets.
Yeah,
exactly. They have those guys in
How hard can it be to get a few muskets?
Yeah, I mean, if the season is over, the muskets are probably just sitting somewhere in a locker.
I'm thinking I'm going to wait until after the 250th, and then I feel like there's going to be a lot of people with muskets and costumes.
Oh, that's
who'll
a
be
good
like,
idea.
Hey, like, what am I going to do now? The 250th's over.
That's right. And
Yeah.
there
Maybe no one will want to watch the film now. The 250th over, but
and there would probably be a surplus of them from people who were selling them for the 250th, but have no use for them when it's 251.
Right, exactly.
And no one cares anymore. Interesting.
Yeah. The other thing I would love to do is a Western. Again, John Wayne was a huge influence, so I would love to do a Western. I actually wrote one, and it just was beyond me at the time that I wrote it as a filmmaker. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, now I can see how I can do it.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still a little bit, because like you need horses, obviously, like it's not going to be a proper Western without a horse,
right?
But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, yeah, I think I can make this happen in a year or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a feature?
No, this would be a short film.
Okay,
feature would be cool, but I wrote a short film, so.
Okay. If you could give just one piece of advice to aspiring actors who are just starting their careers, what would it be?
So when you're starting out, yes, you're going to want people to pick you, and yes, you're going to want to audition and try to get on other people's sets. That's very valuable, but it doesn't, whether you get picked or not, does not reflect your value as a person. So just remember that, and I strongly encourage you to make your own films, because that will teach you not only, it's not only great for your reel, and it's great to show what you can do as an actor, but it'll teach you what the production side looks like, and that will make you more sympathetic to what the director and the producers and the caterers and the makeup artists and the editors have to go through. But it'll also make you a better team player, because you understand that you will be smarter in how you approach the material and how you approach your time on set. So I highly recommend that you make your own stuff and start small. You don't have to be an expert at it. Even if only your mom likes the first few videos, that's fine. Just keep going. Just because your auditions aren't landing right away, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that it's not your time yet, and you can build your own, library of videos and showcase your own talents on your own. So. And
finally, what's next for you?
Well, we have the Boston International Film Festival, and me and Kasha, who worked on Say Hello together, we're working on another script. We're hoping to get that into production later this year, And but the biggest thing that I'm working on is Hey with Lenore and Harley, which I am so looking forward to.
What's that?
So PNN.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're taking over PNN, Harley and Lenore, and we're turning it into a talk show, and we're interviewing the people who are on PNN and finding out more about them. Or just riffing, one or the other. We'll see how it goes.
And when does that start?
When does it start, Stephen?
Well,
Well,
funny you should ask. The current season of PNN goes through the second week of May.
okay.
And then Hey, starring Harley and Lenore, will begin immediately after and run through the summer. And will carry through September of 2026. And then PNN will return in its normal form to finish out the year. And then we look to 2027. Oh my God. Just mortgaging the future.
I gotta say though, like, I did that four parts of the McAllister series with Kara, editing and directing and all that stuff. I don't know how you do so many episodes in a year. I don't know. And you do it with the special effects in the background. And I'm like, oh, respect. I did real sets because I was too lazy to learn how to use a green screen.
Sure.
Or a blue screen, as it happens.
Right.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is, but we appreciate it.
There's no question it's a lot, but one of the great things about PNN, I always feel like, is that at this point it is a well-oiled machine, and it's in many ways like a factory. So people come in, they know exactly what they're expected to do. We have the teleprompter, so we don't have incidents with people who memorize the wrong scene. We do have incidents with people who have no idea what they're supposed to be saying and are learning at that moment. But and everybody just knows exactly what they're supposed to do. We get it done. So it makes everything that I have to do so much easier. But like, if I were doing something like Sadie McAllister, I don't know how I would do that because there would be so many more things that I would have to do than I normally do here. So
that was I will say, I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. That was a great experience. I would do it again. And you should check out Kara Camo's Book Sisters channel. I'm just going to plug her because she's awesome. Yep. She's doing her own series, which mad respect. A lot of talent coming out of that area.
KJ Traynor, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. You're my big get. Because we've done so many things together, and we've traveled down so many roads together. I'm glad that we were able to do this together. So thank you. And thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time on I Saw You in That Thing I Saw You In.
If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire podcast, and for that, thank you. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave us a review on Spotify. See you next week for another installment of I Saw You in That Thing I Saw You In.